Hey, how's it going guys? It's Nate here. And we've been through this exposition somewhere around 10 times now. But in case you've forgotten, Skyrim is a pretty large game. So even after 6 years, there still are a few tiny details, references, and Easter eggs that some of us may not have caught. So today, in honor of that, we're going to be taking a look at yet another 10 tiny details that you may still have missed in The Elder Scrolls V. Part 11, I believe. Starting off, Mikail is a bard in Whiterun, staying at the Bannered Mare. He's a very flirtatious individual, and claims to have even been kicked out of the Bard's College for having an affair with the headmaster's wife. When you first meet him, he'll be actively pursuing a relationship with Carlotta Valentia, one of Whiterun's merchants, who is utterly disgusted with him. And you'll be given a short quest by Valentia to get Mikail to leave her alone, which will often end in either a brawl, or you just paying him off. Well, what you might not have known about Mikail, is he's not only just a musician and wannabe romantic, but he's also a very successful author. The book, A Gentleman's Guide to Whiterun, can be found all across Skyrim, from the homes of lowly peasants to Solitude's Blue Palace. A quick look at the cover page will reveal that it was penned by none other than Mikail the Bard. It describes the city of Whiterun in quite a cocky tone, all the while Mikail comments on the town's inhabitants, in a very crude way. You can tell Mikail wrote this just by the language that he uses. Next, Attar is the city of Solitude's executioner, and also its head jailer, who has a deep loyalty to the Empire. Generally, when he's not working or decapitating people, he can be found at the Winking Skeever, one of Solitude's inns. However, should you decide to follow this man around in the middle of the night enough times, which I don't recommend you do with real axe-wielding people, chances are you'll see him entering Jala's house. Jala is a female Nordic vendor in the city, known for her passionate hatred of the Stormcloaks, who she claims murdered her brother. Well, evidently she and Attar have found quite a bit of comfort in each other's pro-imperial arms, and seem to be seeing each other, possibly in secret. When Attar visits her at night, he'll generally just sleep in one of her beds, and leave by 7 AM. A look into the creation kit reveals that Jala and Attar are labeled as each other's boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm not sure if Bethesda ever intended to do more with this tale. Attar and Jala have no dialogue that suggests a relationship is ongoing. However, their sneaking out together tells a different story. And number 3, the Companions Guild is centered in Whiterun, and members of its inner circle secretly have the ability to transform into werewolves, which they'll reveal to the player should you progress deep enough in their questline. Well, if you speak any number of Eastern European languages, there's a good chance this wasn't a very stunning revelation to you. That's because many members of the Companions have names that literally mean werewolf or something similar when translated from specific languages. Kodlak, the de facto leader of the Companions' name, means werewolf in Serbian, and a handful of other languages. Farkas, known as the guild's most formidable warrior, has a name that translates into wolf in Hungarian. And Vilkas, Farkas' brother's name, also means wolf, though in Lithuanian. Lucky for these guys, everyone in Skyrim seems to only be fluent in English, except their parents, who are evidently psychic. Fourth on our list is a bit of a quick one. But should the player enter any tavern or inn and proceed to sit down at a table for long enough, you'll eventually be approached by a waiter, who will try to take your order. Go ahead, try it. Halfway through for our 5th spot, we have a strange level of restraint exercised by Ulfric Stormcloak. During the Dark Brotherhood questline, the Emperor will visit Skyrim, docking his ship next to the City of Solitude, until you ultimately assassinate him. Well, as you probably already know, the Battle of Solitude is the final quest in the Stormcloak side of Skyrim's Civil War. But, if the Emperor is staying nearby the city with the Dark Brotherhood quests active, Ulfric Stormcloak will refuse to attack Skyrim's capital, saying the following.
We're ready to march on Solitude, but the Emperor's visiting. The goddamn Emperor! And as much as I'd like to kill the man myself, we can't risk an all-out war with the Empire. We'll bide our time for now.
This will put the Stormcloak questline on pause, until you've finished up your work with the Dark Brotherhood. After the Emperor is dead, the Stormcloaks will then assault Solitude as normal. However, I found it pretty cool. For a short moment in the game, if you're at just the right spot with both the Brotherhood and in Skyrim Civil War, you get to see a different version of Ulfric. 6th, Isolde is a Nordic merchant living in Whiterun. She's made a small fortune working with the Khajiit caravans, and hopes to one day become the greatest trader in all of Skyrim. She's also involved in a few quests, where you learn that she's a drug dealer too. But she must have another ambition too, to purchase Whiterun's most popular tavern, the Bannered Mare. When you first approach Isolde, there's a chance she'll say the following line of dialogue.
Once I've made enough money trading with the Khajiit caravans, I'm going to buy the Bannered Mare from Hulda.
This is quite the plan, and believe it or not, you can help her make it a reality. Sort of. Should Hulda, the owner of the Bannered Mare, have an unfortunate accident and pass away, Isolde, should you have completed all of her quests, will end up assuming ownership of the tavern, and becoming the Bannered Mare's newest innkeeper. Now, if you haven't helped Isolde out at all yet, there's a chance that Mikail, the crude bard we mentioned earlier in this video, who stays at the Bannered Mare, will become the inn's new owner, which I find to be quite hilarious. And number 7, we have another weird line of dialogue. Noticing a trend here? If you cast the Harmony spell nearby a child, there's a rare chance that they may say that they've liked it, and ask the Dragonborn to do it again.
Wow, that was fun! Do it again!
Next, Farengar, Whiterun's court wizard, can give the Dragonborn a small quest to go deliver some salts to Arcadia, the owner of an alchemy shop within the city. Once you've delivered the salts, she'll say the following.
Ah, splendid, splendid. It's for a special brew I'm working on. A love elixir like none other. Maybe I'll test it on Farengar first.
This is a reference to the American comedy starring Sandra Bullock, Love Potion No. 9, where a pair of biologists develop a love potion with the primary ingredient being salt. Ninth on our list, in the quest A Night to Remember, the player will enter a drinking contest with a man named Sam and quickly black out, awakening the following morning to discover that you had quite the drunken adventure and are left to pick up the pieces of what happened on that fateful night. Well, one of the things you evidently did on your drunken adventures was marry a hagraven named Moria, and gave her a ring that you now need back. When you meet her to collect, she'll fall into a fit of rage, accusing you of being unfaithful with another hagraven named Esmeralda, before attacking.
What? You want it for that hussy Esmeralda with the dark feathers, don't you? I won't let her have you.
That name, Esmeralda, is a clever allusion to the book The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Now, unless you had an incredibly sadistic high school English teacher, chances are you've never been forced to read that book, in which case you have my congratulations. However, in that book, one of the main characters is named Esmeralda, a gypsy with black hair and a rather sexually promiscuous lifestyle. She's eventually tried in court for being a witch, and killed at the book's end. She does survive in the Disney movie though, so that's nice. But evidently somebody working at Bethesda had a very fun senior year of high school. And finally, last on our list, we have the strange story of an abandoned home. Lunz hut can be found nearby Rorikstead, and all around it there's a bunch of savage hostile skeevers who will attempt to kill you. Inside, there's more hostile skeevers, and a dead man sitting on a bed named Lund. A quick scope of the place will reveal that Lund seemed to have been caring for these animals. All around Lund's hut there's various trays filled with minor bits and pieces of food that seem to have been left out for the skeevers to eat and enjoy. Nearby Lunz Corpse, there's a small poison vial. When you consider that he doesn't look all that old, it's safe to assume that he probably took his own life. Outside of the homes, but still relatively on what I would consider his property, you can also find a small gravestone, with a ring as well as a hood laid on it. Somebody was buried here, possibly Lund's wife. All appearances suggest that Lund lost the woman he loved. After doing so, he desperately tried to fill in that void with various skeevers, but alas, it wasn't enough. Anyway, on that terribly depressing note, we are going to wrap up. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, like ratings are, as always, very much appreciated. And what tiny details, references, and Easter eggs have you caught in your travels throughout Skyrim? Leave a comment down below. Again, thanks for stopping by, and I hope to catch you all in my next video. Peace out, everyone. Hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you really like this content, feel free to check out the Discord linked in the description down below. There you can interact with other like-minded-ish people. We're trying to build up a bit of a community and everyone seems to be having a good time. Also, shout out to my subscribers Sebastian and Diego, who both beat me at chess, and I promised I'd give them a shout out if they did. Spoiler alert, I'm not that great at chess. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody.